I'm a mess today. I just locked my phone into my friend's apartment and I had the code to his apartment on my phone. So I didn't have the code memorized, so I didn't know what it was. So then I couldn't get back into his apartment. But we have the phone. We did it. I am just really good at iCloud and I figured out how to get the code off of my iCloud from a picture that he sent me. That was quite an excursion. And honestly, that's a great way to represent how my entire week's been going. Hence why this is going up on a Thursday night instead of Wednesday morning. So sorry, you guys, about that. But I have just been running myself into the ground. Somewhat it's my fault and somewhat it's like work's fault. And if you hear Shark panting in the background, that's about how I feel inside. So I have just had a super busy week with like a bunch of projects that I have and deadlines that I have due at work. And then I had some brand deals that I had to work out on TikTok. And also I had an audition for a short film that I'm hoping any minute that I will get a feedback on if I got the role. So that's really exciting. That's like some tea. I also have some modeling things coming up, so that's just like, in the works. There's just a lot going on and like I'm so happy about everything that's happening, but it's also just like a lot to handle. I have been grinding day and night, so it's just one of those kind of weeks. But yeah, I am here to record and I wanted to talk about today. Well, first, hold on. This episode is not sponsored by LaCroix still. Nobody has reached out to me. But I did want to educate the people about the strawberry basil mint sparkling water from Whole Foods. Now, this stuff hits, okay? If you're a sparkling water fiend like I am, I just love a unique little flavor that kind of tastes like it could be a mocktail, but it's just sparkling water. So this is probably my favorite one from Whole Foods. So if you're watching the video on YouTube, there you go. Highly recommend. This is my endorsement of the sparkling water. Slay. Anyway, back to what today is going to be about. I've been posting some controversial, like hot take videos on TikTok, and they've kind of been popping off. So I've decided I'm just here to be the arbiter of hot takes. And it's kind of funny because I feel like maybe the impression that I give people versus the person that I am are like two completely different people. Because I just want people to think that I'm nice and like, I don't know, put together. But really, once you crack this egg, like, I swear, all hell breaks loose. Like, there's a lot of thoughts going on in this mind. I'm just a silly, goofy girl, and I am full of hot takes and controversial opinions, and I love to share them with my people. But I'll read one of them that I posted that popped off. It started off with like a repost of a farmer's market video that I made that I was basically just saying that nobody goes to farmer's markets for actual food. You go for the vibe of the experience of shopping at a farmer's market with your boyfriend or like whatever and just feeling like a cutie little girl in your white dress and your reusable bag, okay? And the people resonated. But then I got a little bit more controversial saying that can we all just collectively agree that if you aren't enjoying your life, then you're wasting it? Stop doing stuff like career activities, even school, that you hate because I don't know what the point of that is. Okay, thanks, that's all. So I kind of went off there a little bit because that's like facts. Like I hate when people tell me that they hate their job or they hate their school or they hate like whatever they're doing because I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like, especially at this age, like I get that when you're like 19 years old and you're doing like your core education classes in college, like you kind of have to suffer through it to like get to the part of your degree that you're interested in. And like, I get that. Or like something at work that's like short term. But in terms of like longer term goals or dreams or careers, like if you're stuck in a career that you hate, or you're getting a degree that you hate, or you are doing anything in your life that you hate, if you're a grown adult, why are you still doing that? That's just why. Nope, nobody's making you do this. Okay? I'm 25 years old, you're 25 years old, you're 30 years old, you're 22 years old. Like, you're in charge of your life. Why are you doing that? Another one that I wrote was, can we all just collectively agree that lazy people are annoying? Unless you have skills, hobbies, and motivation in life, I am bored and do not relate to you. Goodbye. And the people came for me in the comments on this one because they're like, I have depression. Which, like, yes, I understand that. But I think that there is the vast majority of people that I would group in the lazy category that are not depressed, that they're just lazy and don't have any drive in life. And so I just don't know how to relate to those people being a person that has a lot of motivation and interests. I don't know. The people did not like me for that one, but I feel like it's true. I'm like, my favorite thing when I meet somebody is for them to tell me what they're interested in and then see them light up about, like, I don't know, you love rock climbing? Tell me about your rock climbing. And like, I could listen to you talk about it for hours. I do not care at all about rock climbing, but I want to hear you and what you have to say about it. Or, oh my gosh, my favorite thing is when somebody nerds out about something that I know nothing about and I don't care to know anything about. Like, if you are like just super into space and you want to tell me all these random facts about planets and stars and galaxies, like, I will hang on your every word because I can hear the passion in your voice and how excited you are to talk to me about space. And so I just love that. Those are my favorite kind of conversations. So people that don't have interests like that or motivation to learn or grow, they're just not my people. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that. And then another one that I wrote was, can we agree that pounding back shots and being able to drink 12 beers at once is not a flex? Like, I'm sorry, but that's called alcoholism and I don't want to be involved. I think we're old enough now that we know that that's not a flex. Like, this is not a frat party. This is real life. So, yeah, when people, oh my gosh, it's my biggest ick in a man. Okay, biggest ick when a guy is trying to be like, yeah, I like drank 6 beers in 30 minutes at the pregame, and now I'm gonna go take 5 shots, and like they're trying to like flex so they can drink this much, and that they're like partying and all that stuff. Ugh, literally would rather die than talk to them. Yeah, I'm just not impressed. Honestly, I'm not impressed because I see through you and I see your lack of self-control and I don't like that. And I think self-control is a lot more attractive than your little alcoholism flex. It's just not the vibe. So yeah, those were the ones that the people resonated with. And that just plays into a larger conversation that I wanted to have for a few minutes on here about happiness. Okay? Because I feel like one of the things that has truly made me really happy in life is embracing these controversial takes. Like, I feel so confident in who I am and what I do with my life that I can have these kind of hot takes and like talk to them about people. Of course, in an empathetic way. I don't just like go spewing this stuff off at people whenever I like encounter it. I try to be a kind person. But I'm like able to stand my ground in terms of what I believe and what I think about certain things because I am very happy with who I am. Like, I'm very content with the person that I've grown to be. And so once I started like truly embracing the things about myself that made me, it just made me so much freer and happier. And like, I even made a TikTok yesterday or 2 days ago that popped off as well, that I made a list of things that I don't do anymore because I decided I'm an adult and I don't have to and I hate them. And so I'm going to read this list for you. The first one was weightlifting, just because it hurts and I'm bored and I would rather do something else. So I just don't do it. Working in a corporate office, there's literally not a single amount of money that you could pay me to sit in a cubicle from 9 to 5. I would rather be unemployed. The next one is reformer Pilates, which I just decided that this was kind of dumb. And I have friends that do this, so like more power to you, but I think you look kind of silly and I don't enjoy it and it hurts. Like, it's really hard. And it's also $50 a class, which is ridiculous. The next one was avoiding gluten, dairy, soy, etc., just because it's unhealthy. Which I have to caveat this in saying that I've been that person that's like tried to avoid all of these things before. And I think that there is a time and a place to do elimination diets, try to eat clean. Of course, I try not to make my entire diet gluten because that's not healthy, but I don't force myself to avoid all of these foods that I enjoy just because they're quote unquote unhealthy, because That would just make me sad. And I just decided to be happy. And I don't have any health conditions anymore that prevent me from doing that. So therefore, there is no need. And I've had a better relationship with my body and food and all of that stuff since I just gave up on all those little rules. I don't like that. And then the last one is trying to be uncontroversial on the internet. I just don't live my life to make everybody happy anymore. Like, I'm a recovered people pleaser, and I'm just like happy to be controversial about things. Like, there's plenty of things in my life, and especially my faith, that are not the norm and are not popular opinions. And being able to stand on those is the best feeling ever. Whenever you can disagree with somebody about your position on, I don't know, marriage, on religion, on politics, on any of these things, and not be wavered by what anybody says. Of course, being able to like engage in a dialogue with somebody about that, but not waver on what you believe just because somebody believes something differently. And I think for a long time, I've always, especially on the internet, like not wanted to say anything that would alienate anybody from my content. But at this point, I kind of just don't care anymore. Like, I just want to be me, and some people are going to love me and some people are going to hate me, and I've decided that I don't care. So, yeah, I hope you guys love me because I love you guys. And I think I'm a generally nice person, but there's some things that I just don't stand for, and some things that I do that are controversial. And as you listen to this podcast, maybe you'll find out some of my hot takes. But if you're one of my close circle people, there's some crazy ones. If you know, you know. And I'm probably not going to put those on the internet because I might get canceled for them. But anyway, once I started just embracing that, like, I don't have to like these things, not that any of those things are inherently bad. Some people love working their job, their office. You know, some people are not able to focus working from home. Some people live to weightlift, and more power to you. It's not that any of those things are inherently bad. It's that I do not like them. So why would I force myself to do all these things that I don't like? And whenever I just decided that that was okay, it's just like a level of freedom that you really never experience until you're willing to just have opinions about things and be okay with other people disagreeing with you. And I love when people tell me that I carry like joy to the room, because that's like my goal, of course. Especially as a Christian, we should be the most joyous people on the planet. Joy is a decision that you make. It's a decision to be positive. It's a decision to have hope in the midst of hard things. But happiness, I feel like, is a little bit more fleeting, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but it is a little bit more fleeting. And I think it flows out of living your daily life in alignment with the decision to be joyous and to live in line with your beliefs. And so happiness is definitely contextual. We have stuff that happens in our lives that makes us unhappy. You know, it's not that I am happy 24/7. There are things that are out of my control that happen to me that make me very sad and hurt me. But that doesn't mean that I can't still make the decision to have joy in my heart, even if I'm not happy in that moment. But on a day-to-day level, doing the things are in alignment with my beliefs and my goals, and all of those things make me happy. And I think joy is like the underlying driver behind why I do everything that I do. And so I'm 25 now. Okay, newsflash. Apparently my barista at the coffee shop across the street could not believe that I was over the age of 21. So I'm hoping that means that my skin is aging wonderfully. But I feel like at this point in life, this is another hot take. At this point in life, if you're over the age of 25 years old, you can't blame what happened to you as a kid for why things are going wrong in your life now. Of course, it plays a role. It might mean you're behind in some things. It might mean that some things trigger you or you have difficulty with some things. And I have so much empathy for that. But at this point in life, you're 100% responsible for what you do with what happens to you. You're 100% in control the choices that you make in relation to the things that happen in your life. And it's a level of like radical responsibility that you have to take. And it kind of sucks for a little bit. But then once you like realize that, okay, like bad things are going to happen to you regardless, but I can choose to accept the things that happen and continue to be happy and continue to move forward in my life and continue to to make progress on whatever I'm trying to do, then it doesn't have as much of a stronghold over you. And you don't make the excuse of why you haven't started that degree, or you haven't started that new job, or you haven't tried to get in relationships because of the past. You don't make that excuse anymore. And you end up making a lot more progress towards your goals faster than if you just sit and wallow in being a victim to your circumstances. And again, like, terrible things happen in this life. And that is the most heartbreaking thing about being a human. I am a deeply empathetic person, and it just breaks me to see how messed up our world is sometimes. But yet, if we like succumb to the weight of that and we just leave it all on our own shoulders, and we don't make the decision to continue to have joy and continue to do things that make us happy despite that, like, what's the point? Like, there's no point. Like, there's no point in not being happy. There's no point in not doing things that will ultimately lead you to living a joyful and happy life. And so I thought I'd finish out this episode. I know this is a short one. Thought I'd finish out this episode with things that make me happy. I wrote a couple things down, and we'll see if I can name some more, because lots of things make me happy. And maybe this is like something you should do today too, like write down a list of things that make you happy. And I even started off with, on this list on my phone, of writing down gratitude lists. It's actually scientifically proven that you can be anxious and grateful at the same time. So if you're experiencing anxiety, turn that on its head and start figuring out things that you're grateful for. Like, even when I'm in the car and I'm overwhelmed about something, I'll just list out 10 things out loud in the car by myself that I'm grateful for. And they can be as dumb as, like, it's sunny out today, or somebody bought me a coffee today, or I like my outfit today, or I got a package in the mail, or a shark isn't being an absolute menace today. You know, like, it's just little things like that. And it just turns your perspective around in that moment. And so that's something that really makes me happy. Another thing that really makes me happy is my faith, and just having a belief in something bigger than me. And it's crazy because before I like truly dove into having a relationship with God, I just kind of saw God as, this big judge up in the sky who was mad at me for all the things that I was doing wrong. And it's been such a beautiful journey of recognizing that the God that I believe in loves me and wants the best for me and has rules in place to protect me and does everything for my own good, and is the one who can carry the burden of all the things that I'm stressed about and the things I can't control. Being able to let that go and give it to God is the greatest gift I've ever received in my life. Like, I have nothing if I don't have that. And it's changed everything about me. And it's changed everything about the way that I live my life. And I can confidently say it's the best thing that I've ever done. And I have joy every day because I know that God's in control and not me. And how amazing is it that somebody infinitely more powerful than me is pulling the strings behind the curtain to make my life as awesome as it is now, through a lot of hard decisions and a lot of hard times. But I think that it's just the coolest and best thing ever. And it took me a long time to have that perspective on faith in God, but when I tell you that it changed everything about my life. Another thing that makes me happy, just the people in my life. Like, my friends are everything to me, and they're just such uplifting and positive influences. They're people that motivate me in my career, in my life, in all of the things that I want to do, even if they're not doing the same things that I want to do. Like, they're the ones that are cheering me on. They're my greatest cheerleaders. They encourage me to take care of myself. They encourage me to take a break when I need to take a break. They encourage me to work hard. They encourage me to be everything that I feel called to be. I just love them for it. And they make me laugh more than anybody else. And I can be my whole self with them. And it's just an absolute joy and a blessing to have the people that I have in my life. Like, I could not be more thankful. Like, it's this maybe the second greatest gift in my life. If you're one of my close friends, I love you so deeply, and I am just blessed beyond measure because you're in my life. Another thing that is just kind of like a tangent, but something that makes me happy is avoiding listening to sad music. Okay, I love sad music just as much as the next person, but when I realized how sad music I was listening to and how much it would impact my mood and how much it would send my mind into sad thought spirals that I didn't need to go down about situations that weren't even happening, I had to cut it. And so I actually, for an entire year of my life, when I lived in New York, I basically would not listen to any sad music. I had to throw Billie Eilish out the window, which I do listen to some of her now. I feel like I can handle it a little bit better now, but I had to throw all the sad music out the window, all the sad country love songs out the window. I couldn't do it because I was like, I can't listen to this and it not impact my mood or impact my feelings about certain scenarios. And so it just had to stop. And it is crazy how much music impacts you. And so I highly encourage you, if you are just a lover of depressing music, like I love depressing music just as much as the next person, but it makes me sad. And I can only handle so much sadness, especially being a super empathetic person. I can only handle so much. So maybe you should just stop listening to it for a while and just see what happens. I would only listen to like happy music or inspiring music, and it really helped. Highly recommend that. Let's think of other things that make me happy. That's all I got on my phone of my list of things to talk about today, but let's see. What else can I spout out that makes me happy? The summer. I love the summer. I love the sun. I wish it would be 100 degrees outside and 15 hours of sunlight year round. That would be great. I love my flash camera that I've been taking all my Instagram pics with because my Instagram, also I love my Instagram and my TikTok and social media in general. Looking fire on there. Okay. I don't want your opinions. I just want mine. I think it's doing great. What else? I love my Sharky. Hello, Sharky boy. I love him. What a cutie. I love, oh, wait, I'm saying what things that make me happy. Well, Shark makes me happy and he makes me want to rip my hair out. But today he's making me happy. He hasn't done anything too crazy. What else? My 2 coffees a day made me happy. I grew up and decided I'm 25 years old, and if I want 2 coffees a day, I can have 2 coffees a day. Because for a long time, I would be mad at myself that I was drinking so much coffee. And no, I just don't give a frick. So I drink 2 coffees a day. One when I wake up at like 7 or 6, and then one at like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. And it's just makes me happy. This sparkling water makes me happy. Thank you, Whole Foods. Shopping makes me happy. My P. Terry's chicken burger I had yesterday made me happy. Oh my gosh, I went to Krispy Kreme this morning. That made me happy. So that is all. I hope this was a good perspective for you guys. I want to hear some of your hot takes because I love a hot take. And make sure you follow me on TikTok at Kelsey Jones if you want to go see all those videos that I talked about in the beginning of the episode. But yeah, I'm going to keep posting some of those. And if you resonate, just give it a little repost or something. But I love you guys. And I think I have another YouTube subscriber. So if you're that new YouTube subscriber, I like you. Anyway, write me a review on Spotify, Apple, or drop a comment on YouTube, subscribe, follow the podcast, any of those things. I am sorry I'm up late this time, but it is what it is. Be a hater if you want to be a hater. Personally, I love having haters.